one is my 2018 Gibson Les Paul Tribute. This is a gold top model with 490 T&R pickups still in here. I have updated the pots. The circuit board in there was all right. I like them on certain models. I typically don't actually have issues on my other two that I've had them in, but on this particular model, it would actually, when it rolled down to 0, would actually pop back into 10. So I'd have to roll it back to like a decimal over 0 to fully get some type of 0 or use my pedal board. So it got to a point where I just wanted to get new pots, and it made the guitar a lot hotter, which honestly sounded better in the end. I've also put some locking tuners on this guitar and taped it up a good amount to highlight my interests. So the story with the Les Paul Tribute, my dear friend Hunter Haddad grew up with this guy, worked at Guitar Center, and had an IOU from his bosses helping stop a thief. And so he used his IOU to get me an insane deal on that guitar, about 600 brand new. Logged it as a Squire. I wish I still had that receipt. Got lost in a move. But yeah, no, that guitar has seriously been a godsend, so thank you, Hunter. If you listen to any of my recordings, that guitar is on it, and probably was written on it as well. This is a brand new edition. This is a 2016 Les Paul Tribute as well. I love the Tribute series. This is a one that I bought on Facebook Marketplace for $650. It was actually a sunburst, and it just looked kind of awful, and I already have a sunburst, so it became more of a, well, how do I make this one stand out? And as you can see, I kind of did a lot with it. I just knew this could be a really cool guitar, and it's kind of inspired by Fallout and also Invincible in terms of the color scheming, the black, the gold, and blue, specifically kind of like a Smurf kind of blue. And I think it turned out pretty well, honestly, for the investment on this. I bought this for $600, and then I got quoted to paint it for another $600. So I said, fuck that, and essentially got some car vinyl, which costed about $20. Some gold hardware parts, which was about another $50, and just modded it up. Switched her up, and yeah, now she's playable. I needed to get some help on it, of course. Took it down to a local shop, but yeah, no, this guitar has been one of my main live guitars for the past year, and I definitely will put this through the ringer. So definitely expect this to get beat up within the next few years. This is another 2008. I honestly really do like the 2008 years. Not a bad year. So again, you'll have your circuit board, PCB board in here, which it still is. Honestly, I love the see-through back. I think that's just such a cool addition. Yeah, this one's definitely dinged up, a good amount scratched and played. It's 2008. I used to play this one all the time back in my youth. This was my main go-to live guitar. My very first band, Cool Thraven, typically would have this in drop C sharp, but now it's in standard. This one's pretty much factory though. And again, there's some really cool specs on here. Just like you don't see Gibson tuning this as much anymore. Like just on a standard having locking tuners, that's just a nice addition. You're probably never going to see that with the classic vintage collection, maybe with the modern stuff, of course. But one other cool thing that's really unique, you don't see Gibson doing this at all, and it's really smart. This actually has a locking mechanism. If you actually yank on your cord, it's not going to be the biggest issue in the world, as opposed to having to like kind of feed it through your strap, which isn't a big deal. But no, I think it was a cool addition. You know, it's definitely not vintage and it's definitely not classic, but in terms of modern accessibility, I do think it's a nice little failsafe. This is my SG 2008 standard. Done probably the most modifications on any of my Gibsons on this one. Running theme, I do actually like to personalize my guitars. I know it kind of messes up the resale value for Gibsons, but it's also at that point where these are my guitars, and they're also in tools. Well, these are definitely great collector's pieces, and to me, like almost art pieces in a sense. There are times where I'm not gonna lie, I definitely appreciate that, and for specific models, it makes sense to do that for historical preservation. Yeah, no, so to me, these guitars can definitely be a reflection of such, and yeah, on that note, most people might not like what I've done to this guitar. I have not only installed a Floyd Rose, which might be a little hearsay, we also have a kill switch. Did not have to drill deeper into this. So that is the one, if there is one thing I will say, I do like to be able to reverse back on most of my decisions. Floyd Rose on this is also in drop B. This is typically my metal guitar or super low tuning, just add a little extra sauce into a mix. I've used this in a few recordings, very, very minimal stuff. I don't do much drop tuning often, and if I do, especially live, I'll just use a drop tune pedal, because I tend to like to just rip one guitar on stage the whole night, if at all possible. And so, yeah, with this one, it has become this little secret weapon I will install into a mix if I feel like it needs to go a little darker or get that extra deep low end. Yeah, also one other thing, I installed push pull pots in here. So this can also get Strat sounds and kind of degen a little bit more. Yeah, but for 2008, it's very clean. It's got some dings on it, of course, and somewhere, but for all intents and purposes, this is relatively pretty decent. I mean, most of the scratches are around here. There's one decently big ding right here, but most of my guitars are pretty clean. And here we have my last Gibson. It's technically an Epiphone, but Epiphone actually has come around in the past few years. This is pretty much stock, but these actually, the studios come really well stocked. I think they're like the Pro Bookers. They got coil tap, neck profile is kind of a slim taper. It's nice. Most of these are slim tapers, I believe, except for I think the 2008s. Yeah, no, this plays like a dream. This is typically my backup live guitar, just in case I need something to throw around, or just have in case something happens to my main guitar and I can't restring it in time, or kind of get it fixed up. Again, I've kind of modded it up decent amount. I definitely want to do a lot more with this, kind of leaning in the black and white chromatic kind of theme. Maybe sticker bomb it, maybe paint it. We'll kind of figure it out. But again, this one I definitely wouldn't mind making my own and kind of, I mean, if I'm going to throw that blue one through the ringer, I definitely want to throw this one past that. So I've been supporting Gibson pretty much all my tenure in guitar. Yeah, no, these are great guitars. I highly recommend them. Thank you guys for watching, and please watch some more videos and subscribe.